What's going on, you Gymnanigainers? Welcome back to the channel. Now, so we're going to go dive into Dana White's weight loss journey and how he hooked up with Gary Becca and the whole process. And I'm just going to weigh in on a few things because if you are going on a diet or increase of weight, depending on where you're at, if you are looking to build muscle or if you're wanting to cut back the fat, this is just going to be a great video to dive in. There's some great pieces in here. I haven't really watched the whole thing through, but I am going to give some input, things that I believe that really do work and what things maybe are a little bit just a little bit too much. So with that, guys, let's get into it. Like always, you guys like, subscribe, and let's dive into it.
What's up, everybody? We're here at UFC headquarters, and we're here in my gym that is actually connected to my office. So this June will be 2 years that I started this health journey that I'm on right now. There were a lot of different problems with me that were going on that I've been talking to doctors for 10 years. None of them could fix any of my problems. I had sleep apnea. I had problems with my legs. I had problems I didn't realize I had that doctors didn't even tell me. So a friend of mine, Kerry Kasem, came to me and said, you have to meet this guy, Gary Becca. He's incredible. He's a human biologist. He'll change your life. And I didn't believe in any of this stuff. We finally ended up connecting, and he did my blood work. Through that, he blew me away. He said, give me 12 weeks, and I'll change your whole life. It didn't take 12 weeks. A few weeks into it, I started to feel better, started to have more energy, started sleeping better. The list goes on and on. So people always ask me, all right, you say all this stuff, but what is it that you do? So today, I'm gonna walk you through my facility here that I have in my office and show you what I do every single morning. And Gary Becca will add the science to it. So come with me, I'm gonna show you everything we got.
Now, this is a great stopping point right here, and that blood work for you guys out there. The blood work is where we start, and that is going to be the book of revelations to what we need to unfold and to fix. And I highly recommend. It can be expensive, but when you look at the long-term things, if you guys want to spend $600 to $1,000 to get your complete blood work done, that's covering testosterone, your liver enzymes, everything in between, your triglycerols, so many things. And this is where I believe Dana finds out where, some things are going wrong. And as he describes, within weeks, he already feels different. And this is the power to the human body, as we, and hopefully you all have heard. If not, go check out the Huberman or the Huberman podcast. He has got some great insight about just really kind of, connecting the body to yourself. And what I mean by that is that we do have control of our bodies, and our endorphins and dopamine get increased by, sugar, sweets, could be adult entertainment, alcohol, could be a lot of variety of things. And when there's too much consumption on that can really affect our bodies. That could be food, even the stuff that we drink could be alcohol or sodas that really affect our bodies. And if you guys just watch right there, that first minute and a half of Dana, you could see he's very pudgy, right? He's got a lot of salt retention, probably has a lot of alkaline in his body that he needs to just get rid of. And, like you said, Gary Becca, and we'll dive into him too, some pros and cons of things that I do believe or disagree with, but let's keep going, and thank you for your patience. Let's keep going.
There are 4 components to the superhuman protocol: the BMF pad, cold plunging, red light therapy, and oxygen therapy. So this here is the PEMF pad. I actually have this at my bed at home. So this goes in your bed, the machine right next to it here, you turn it on, and you literally just lay on this thing. I sleep on it every night.
PEMF stands for pulse electromagnetic field. It's actually a charge. A pulse electromagnetic field is really mimicking what we get from Mother Nature, and that's the magnetism, the low Gauss current that we get from the surface of the Earth. Remember, every cell in our body is exchanging with its outside environment. It's eliminating waste, it's repairing, it's detoxifying, it's regenerating. So if we can enhance that process, you start to begin to understand the benefits of pulse electromagnetic field for grounding.
Now, right there, even more so. And when I say having high alkaline, I have a grounding mat at home, but something to be aware of is that, remember as kids, we would go out in lunchtime even after school doing sports, that we would be sitting on the grass or we'd be rolling around. And those were the times, even not even at school, just playing in the backyard at our homes. That's kind of where we would actually recharge from ourselves, because again, dude, we're inside all the time. We have fluorescent light. We don't really have natural lighting that the sun provides with that, vitamin D that it provides us. Those UV rays is actually really important to our skin and to our mind and our body, obviously. So him and this grounding is actually really effective and has been proven multiple times just to reduce headaches, anxiety, and even like we said, or I said, the actually negative charge of our body.
So I wake up in the morning, the PEMF mat is in my bed, then I come right to work, and then I jump in the cold plunge. I go in at 50 degrees for 3 minutes. So when you start cold plunging, it's very hard at first. It's very mentally challenging, which I do love about it. It makes you feel incredible. It is literally my version of coffee in the morning. It's what wakes me up and gets me going and gets me excited to work out.
So the cold plunge is my drug of choice. I don't think anything makes you feel better for longer. It can actually benefit you by indirectly affecting insulin levels, by activating cold shock proteins, by turning on thermogenesis for brown fat and exchanging calories for heat, as well as increasing your mood by releasing endorphins and dopamine. You get a little bit of shiver, which actually does elevate your metabolism slightly. So you do burn some calories in a cold plunge, and it makes you feel absolutely amazing.
I'm telling you guys, it is a game changer. And I know it's hard at first to get into 50-degree water for 3 minutes, but it will change your life.
Right into the state.
And he's right. And this is called cold plunge therapy, just like he said. And to add on that, I have one my own, actually. And a lot of these things I do. And this is part of the culture, if you will. But to his point, the cold actually obviously gives you some points, but the actual circulatory of the blood going through your system can help with blood clots, can help with blood pressure, and overall mood. As he was saying in the morning, surprisingly, that hot and cold, what I have learned is that when we go to bed, it's actually better to take a hot shower because that cools us down and expands our blood vessels, right? And gives us a drop in blood pressure, whereas the cold plunge is going to restrict our blood flow, right? And what happens after we restrict that blood flow, it starts slowly opening up and giving more blood flow, and that that being constricted and then expanding is actually a really good thing for your body. So again, this has been proven over time. Russians do this a lot, and they actually go into a cold plunge, and then they'll go just like he is doing and going into a sauna, or fire and ice as they would call it.
Once I'm done cold plunging, then I do the oxygen therapy.
So this is called EWOT, exercise with oxygen therapy. It's based on a well-researched principle called multi-step oxygen therapy. So essentially all it is taking an oxygen concentrator and taking the air, which is 21% oxygen, concentrating it to 93 to 95% oxygen, and filling a 900-liter bag full of 93 to 95% O2. You only do this for short periods of time. You don't want to adapt to oxygen, so you do it for about 10 to 12 minutes while you are mildly exercising. The reason why you do that is because you want a little bit of that perfusion pressure from the heart, that extra pressure that the heart creates when you're under mild exercise, to help push that oxygen into the tissues. Remember, one of the sayings that I've coined is that the presence of oxygen is the absence of disease. If we want our bodies to repair, to regenerate, to detoxify, we want healthy levels of oxygen. So exercise with oxygen therapy has become a very popular way to heal and repair after exercise. It's an amazing way to wake up in the morning. Dana's routine is to walk or mildly jog for about 3 minutes, then do 30 seconds of intense exercise, then do 3 minutes of walking, 30 seconds of intensity, 3 minutes of walking, 30 seconds of intensity, and at about 10 and a half, 11 minutes, you've completed putting 900 liters of this oxygen through the body, and that is doing your cells good.
O2. Oxygen, and he might be getting into this in a minute here. And a lot of these things that he's doing, it looks expensive, and it is, right? We've been able to kind of be in the middle ground with price, with the sauna and the chest freezer and all that. But this is actually very doable. So for him himself, right? Like he's got the cold plunge that's in a huge room, and then the steam. Listen, if you guys don't have this, it's very actually easy. So like in the morning, for an example, just take a warm shower in the morning, and then slowly start going colder and colder and colder, and then hit it to the heat. So you can actually do this in the shower. It's a little more intense because that water is just flowing over through you than having still water and sitting in it, but it is possible. Same with the grounding. You don't have to buy these mats. They do sell them on Amazon. They're actually relatively inexpensive. But again, you could just go outside, lay on the ground for 10 or 15 minutes, and have a recharge, if you will. And with the O2. So Huberman says this too as well. I do this as well. And it's just going for walks, you guys. And you can go for maybe a half mile or a mile walk, and you can speed up and slow down. And these are all feasible. But we'll get into the end of the video. But we're essentially for the body. The body needs about a few things to just run optimally, and one is blood flow, 2 is going to be oxygen, and 3 is that negative or positive charge within your alkaline, and that could be increase in water, obviously salt, we have minerals, there are a plethora of things, but like those key elements of having oxygen, having good blood flow, and again, your body being, a little less alkaline, we can alleviate a lot of things like inflammation, stress, anxiety, some of those key things that we all go through. But again, these aren't really outreaching things that we have to pay for that we can do ourselves, more economically.
The next step is the red light therapy bed. I do it for 20 minutes.
Red light therapy or photobiomodulation uses infrared light and near infrared light, different wavelengths of light, to actually create different effects inside the body. It's well known for reducing inflammation, improving eyesight, improving collagen, elastin, and fibrin in the skin. It's very good for empowering the mitochondria, the powerhouse of the cell, to actually improve its metabolism. It's a great way to recover. It's the rage in athletic performance, in anti-aging, and longevity. You usually use this 10 minutes a day if you use it every day, or 20 minutes 2 to 3 times a week seems to be the sweet spot. This is an incredibly therapeutic tool with very little side effects or downside. I love this. I think if I only had one biohacking device in my life, it would be a red light therapy bed.
Hey, and he is 100% right. And to go back to the cheap, effective way, guys, I go outside for maybe 15, 30 minutes sometimes, just maybe for the aesthetics of tanning. But it's just like going outside. There are a lot of lights that are mimicking what he's doing. Instead of sitting in a tanning bed with those UV lights, they're actually using LED lights within a certain spectrum that help. You guys ever see that scene from Fifth Element where she's in that pod and they're regrowing her in a cellular level, and he's like providing UV light, and this just helps the skin, the oils, and all that combine together. And this is essentially it. And that's why I go back to. I usually try to go out, 15, 20, 30 minutes. Front and back, just total, 15 minutes or 10 minutes here, and then, another 10 there. But I only do about once or twice a week. And again, it's no sunscreen. And you guys, hey, go check out sunscreen. You'd be surprised that some of that stuff is cancerous, and then we're lathering it on our skin. So it's kind of like a double negative effect. You're trying to not get sunburn at the same time you're putting cancerous lotion on you. But again, it's actually in moderation. So these things in moderation, just compared to your consumption of things that aren't really good for you in moderation. We're really just trying to put those effects to the side, so that way we're not, always tired, lethargic, and
so
in
the
pain.
last thing I do is the red light, and then that kicks off my workout. Every day that I wake up, I try to be better than I was yesterday. And I spent the last almost year and a half getting in the best shape that I could possibly get in. And now I brought in all this new equipment, and I'm looking to take it to a whole nother level in 24. Since I started taking my health seriously almost 2 years ago, my life has completely changed. I'm more active, I have more energy, I'm more productive at work, I'm more productive in life, period. I swear to God, I feel like I am 25 years old again.
That's good, right here.
And I understand when you look at me and you say, oh yeah, well you got money, you can do this and that and everything. It's not about money or not having money, it's about Well, it's about having money if you're fucking gonna build your own gym. But you guys can join a gym, and Gary can walk you through protocols that you can do. If you don't have all the equipment that I have, there's no excuse.
That's funny.
So we just finished a whole explanation of the superhuman protocol, but I want to make something really, really clear. You do not need all of this fancy expensive
What did I
equipment.
say?
Sure, if you
What
had
did I say?
120 grand lying around, I would buy that equipment before I bought a Range Rover, but most of us don't have that kind of money to spend. So let me tell you how you can do it for free.
Let's see if I was right. I haven't
If you
even
don't have
watched
the
this.
money
Let's see if
for a
I'm right.
fancy PEMF mat, and by all means, take your shoes off and touch Mother Earth. The second thing you can do if you don't want to buy an EWAT machine or exercise with oxygen therapy is learning how to do 8 minutes of breath work. I follow a Wim Hof style of breath work. You can get all of the benefits of exercise with oxygen therapy without spending a dime, just learning how to breathe properly. And then the final thing is, if you don't have the money to spring for a red light therapy bed, expose your skin to sunlight, especially first thing in the morning. There's a very special light that happens in the first 45 minutes of the day that's called first light. It helps to regulate cortisol, helps to regulate melatonin. It will do more for your circadian rhythm and to help you sleep that night than you could possibly imagine simply by exposing yourself to sunlight in the morning. Those are 3 things you can do to change the trajectory of your life that will not cost you a dime. Touch the surface of the earth, do breath work, expose your skin to sunlight, and that is just science.
So I'm sure everybody came out of the holidays, gangbusters and New Year's resolutions. And if you've fallen off already, March means that spring's coming and here comes summer. So put together your program, be consistent, get after it. I guarantee you, you start doing this, you're gonna have the best summer of your life.
And he's right. He's 100% right. And it's true, you guys. It's all about your health and your mentality. And I just wanted to finish off. Gary Brecka is actually a really, renowned scientist and health guru, kind of like on the same pinnacle as Huberman. So here's one last thing. I just want to leave you guys with some tips and other tricks too. So I haven't seen this, and I all these videos I don't really watch beforehand because I like to have that reaction just like you guys do. But I wanted to state that you don't really need the money to do this, and it's actually very feasible for an average person. Just like anybody in this world can go out in sunlight, go do a little bit of exercise, do some breathing work, and it's all just really detoxing from the norm of what we do. And that norm is just working 8 to 5, grind, and not having any time for ourselves. And once we start putting I always say when we invest in ourselves, that's the best investment you can do, right? You can invest in real estate, you can invest in businesses, you can invest in private coaching, but the most important thing that you can do is just invest in yourself, and it doesn't take a lot to do that. And a lot of these, dude, before I even watched this, I saw a lot of people like saying like this is a scam, listen, 10X Health, all right, and Gary Brecka is intertwined with 10X Health and Grant Cardone, and I am not a big fan of Grant Cardone. I have been to his conferences before. I have met him in real life. Great guy, overall great guy, but I think what he's selling and what he's doing is not my cup of tea. It's not. And what Gary Brecka is doing is, bringing these high-end clients into this, and, they're reaching a high clientele so they can, profit on that. And what is a business without profit? So I'm not dogging them on that. But they are selling you, I think, a high. You don't need, to his point, you don't need all that high-end equipment to achieve those goals. And we don't need to live a life of luxury to achieve happiness. Again, this is just going back to ourselves. And I know I am rambling, but is this a scam? No, it's not. Not at all. Is the program what they're doing and tell you that there's more? That is 100% a scam. Because once you reach, like he said, within those first weeks, then just stay on that trajectory. And we can always adjust and put new things here and there. But, overall, it's just staying consistent, knowing when your body needs some rest, when your body needs sunlight. And that's just really getting in touch with yourself. So thanks for watching. I really want to know what you guys think. Let me know if that's something with you that you guys do. And yes, I am sweating. It is hotter than hell in Texas. With that, you guys, I will see you in the next video. Have a good one.